Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my weekly afternoon tea time and a card. I'm so glad you guys are here. I can see you guys all coming on, so I'm going to give it a few seconds to allow everyone to find me. I know sometimes some of you guys say you don't get notifications. Hello everyone. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm actually doing 2 cards for you today. I'm using some new products that will be available on January 5th. So just to let you guys know that our customers of mine, both catalogs are starting to appear in your mailbox. So you have the mini catalog and you have the celebration catalog. And unfortunately, I can't show you anything inside until January 5th. But these are going to arrive separately, so they might be a couple days in between. So allow extra time if you're only getting one. I actually have them mailed to myself and I've only gotten one so far. So today I'm using the Art Gallery stamp set, and that does come with dies, the Floral Gallery. And the only dies that I'm using today are this little sentiment die. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And I'm doing some Emboss Resist for you today. For ink colors, I am using Versamark, Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, and Highland Heather. And I'm actually going to show you different colors that I used on the cards that I'll show you. I am embossing today. Oops, wrong container. I'm going to show you something after I'm done the projects too. That's where container number 2 comes in. I'm using white embossing powder, and you'll notice that I keep it in a dish only because as I use it, I put my cardstock inside, sprinkle, and everything falls back in the container instead of on my counter. And what else am I using? I am using the Playing with Patterns resin dots. I'm going to dig those out. And let me show you the pretty colors we're going to be making cards with. I'm doing 2 cards, but they're the same, but in different orientations. So I've got the 2 pieces, 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2, and then 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and fold those. So I'm doing a vertical card and a horizontal card, 1 of each. Whisper White, 2 pieces, 4 by 5 1/4. I've got scrap pieces of the Gorgeous Grape. Oh, and I didn't say this is Gorgeous Grape. 2 pieces for some die cutting. So I am actually going to use one more die. It's going to be this one right here. These are some words I'm going to show you. You don't see it on here because it's just the die. And here's my little sentiment layers that I cut with Flirty Flamingo ink, or cardstock, not ink. I actually should have cut different colors because I am using different colors today. I just messed up on that. Okay, I'm going to show you both cards. So here's the Emboss Resist. And you can see this is the wording I'm going to cut out with the die. Just want to say, so just want to say happy birthday. That's what's great about this set. You've got the text that you can glue to the front of your card. And then just want to say I miss you. Just want to say congratulations. All of these words work with the die cut lettering. So what a fabulous set that is. And you know what? I'm going to dig this out only because I'm not using Flirty Flamingo on the 2 cards I'm going to show you. I'm just going to grab, let's see. I'm going to grab Pool Party, so hold on. So I am going to have to cut 2 of those because I don't want to use these ones. They don't match. Now, let me show you how I'm going to start out. I'm going to actually bring out a scrap piece of paper for my embossing. I'm going to start out with the Versamark ink. Now, most of you guys have done embossing before, so you know what I'm going to be doing. There's my flowers in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp just a whole bunch of flowers. you guys are not going to be able to see because the Versamark is actually a clear ink. Let's see if you guys can see that it's shiny though. It is a little shiny, so you can see some of it. And I am going to use the heat tool today also. So I'm just creating a background. It's kind of like creating your own designer paper. Okay, so now let me see if I did that correctly. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just a tiny little piece right here. Okay, now I'm going to add my powder. So again, I'm going to hold this right in my container. No mess. And you guys can see that that's sticking to where I have the Versamark ink. And once I'm done these two cards, I'm going to show you something really neat that's coming in January. Okay, there's my first one. Now I'm going to do the vertical one, which is this one. Let me get some more room here. I'm going to start at the top this time. I'm just making sure that I'm not stamping over something that I've already stamped, just so I don't want to mess. A little bit on the ends. And then we're going to do some magic. Okay, so that's it for this one. I'm going to do the powder. So you can see how easily that sticks to the Versamark ink. If you guys have never done embossing before, the Versamark ink acts like a glue. It just holds all of the powder in place. Okay, so there's piece number 2. And another tip I'm going to tell you is always cover your embossing powder when you're done with it, because it does make a mess if you happen to blow your heat gun in the container. So now I'm going to go ahead and melt the powder. Once this heats up really hot, it's going to go fast. So I need to do this for both panels. Okay, it's starting to melt now. You guys should be able to see that it's nice and shiny. Now I know Mary Jo, I think, is watching later. She says she always burns her cardstock when she's using the heat tool. The trick is to keep it moving. You can't just sit there and aim at one spot. You have to keep it moving. And as you hold your images to the light, you can see that they just start melting, and you just keep moving your heat tool. Now, hopefully you guys can see that as it's changing color. It's going really fast now. 2 more flowers on this one. And then I'll move on to the other panel, and we'll be done with the heat tool until I show you another new product at the end. So you can see my heat tool is always moving. You don't want to burn your paper. Okay, there's one. This one's going to go a little faster because my heat tool is really hot. Now I am using our new blending brushes. I love the new blending brushes. That's how I added all of the color. And I just wanted to show you guys some different colors. So I'm going to keep with the gorgeous grape that I used on my first 2 cards. But I'm going to add the Pool Party and the Daffodil Delight this time. Okay, I've got 2 more flowers to melt, and then we'll be all done with this. So you guys can see how shiny that turns as it's melting. You can also do this with the clear embossing powder, but the white really stands out against the color that you're going to see me sponge on. Okay. Quit the racket. Now let me prepare. So I'm using Daffodil Delight. There's a new one for my pool party, and you'll notice that I labeled them all. I know some of you guys are gonna just buy a few and clean these off, but I'm not gonna bother cleaning these. I'm gonna have one for each color. Okay, let's dig out all 3 of the inks. And I'm going to start out with a Gorgeous Grape. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. And you'll see that the color, look at how that pops. Isn't that beautiful against the white? Now I'm gonna add a few spots of it. I just love how that white pops. Next, I'm gonna do Daffodil Delight. And as you blend the 2 colors together, you're actually creating a new color. Okay, there's my daffodil. And my 3rd color is Pool Party. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more daffodil right up top here. Okay, look at the difference between the colors that I used on card number 1. And then what I normally do is grab a tissue, because you do have some color on the white, and I just wipe that off. So wipe the whole panel off, and you'll see that it picks up quite a bit of the color that's on the flowers, just to whiten them up. Okay, so there's the first one. Now we're going to do the same thing with number 2. I just grabbed the daffodil this time. I'm going to start with that one first. Now what I love about these brushes, I put my finger on top for pressure. I'm not getting any ink on me at all. So for those of you guys that complain that your fingers get inky when you sponge, this is what's great about it. You're not going to get inky anymore. Okay, now let's do the Pool Party. Now just these 2 colors together would be beautiful, but I opted to add a 3rd color. Okay, that's Pool Party. Now we're going to do the Gorgeous Grape. And again, I make sure that I overlap on the color right beside it, the neighboring color, because then you create more new colors. Okay, there's that one. Again, I'm going to wipe over the white, and that's just going to make everything pop. Look how fabulous that is. Okay, now let's bring in the card bases. I'm going to glue. I'm gluing these on with dimensionals. Now because it's such a large panel, I'm actually going to add 8 dimensionals on each panel. Oh, I can see all the love. You guys like this. Wasn't that easy? It's just such an easy project, and it has a wow when you're done with it. It has a wow effect. Okay, now we're going to glue these in place, and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. And it's going to be really quick. So here's card number 1. Now look how different these look with the different colors. And we're going to do card number 2. Kids would love to do, if you have kids during Christmas vacation and you want something really fun to do with them, they would love this. Okay, now let's bring in our little tiny die cutting machine. I love this die cutting machine. I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 labels. Now make sure when you guys, if you guys buy this, make sure that you are turning your clear plate around each time. I flip mine over so that it doesn't end up curling. Okay, so there's my second sentiment. I'm going to leave this right here because we're going to use this one more time. Now what I did to make it easy to glue my words down, I actually used our adhesive sheets, and you'll see I've got one already on the back of my gorgeous great panel. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one just to show you how I did that. This is just a scrap. I'm going to peel the backing off, maybe, if I can get it started. Sometimes I need to use my paper piercer to get this started. It's not cooperating. Hold on. I'm going to use my paper piercer. Sometimes when I poke the corner, I can get it going. Nope. Let me try the other way. Come on, it's being stubborn, you guys. I cannot get that off. Okay, I think I got it this time. Maybe. I don't have my glasses on too, so that's not helping me. Oh my goodness. I get the other one so easy. There we go, I got it. Just poke a hole and lift, and it usually comes right up. Now this is the sticky side. I'm going to glue that right on the cardstock. I'm going to use my bone folder. And this is going to make adhesive stickers for our wording. Now I'm going to bring in the die cut. And these words are all separate. It's not one big die cut. So you'll see that they come out very easily. The only thing you have to make sure is that you grab the little dotted J. There's a little dot there that you're going to need for the J. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And then we can just glue everything in place. So that what ends up happening with the adhesive sheets is they make their own adhesive stickers that you just peel and stick. Okay, look how easy that was. It just popped right out. So just want, there's my little I, or my little dot for my J. Just want to say, I just need to poke out some of these little letters. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to do this one first. And this works well with the pokey tool too. I just kind of poke it and it lifts that right up. See how easy that was? And then you just peel all of this backing off. So I'm going to put the just, here's my little dot, I think. Wait, is that the right piece? No, that's one of the guts. Here's my little piece. I should have kept my glasses on. I can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, there's my little dot for my J. Next, we're going to do the word want. See, if you can grab it, it just peels right off. The whole thing comes off. It's so easy. Isn't it so much easier than adding liquid glue that you get all over your fingers? I just got a little piece here I gotta take off. Just want two. One more on this card. I just thought I'd do 2 cards the same this today, just to show you the difference between the horizontal and the vertical. And then of course we need to do the little happy birthday, and I'm going to use the gorgeous grape on that. There's the first one. I might as well do the second one. So you guys that are not demonstrators, we have some fabulous products coming. Celebration is wonderful. So Celebration this year is only 2 months long because we're going to have another celebration during the summer. We're having 2 celebrations this year. Okay, there's my happy birthday. Now we got to work on card number 2. So we're going to do the lettering on that also. And for those of you new to Stampin' Up, new to stamping, Celebration it starts on January 5th for 2 months, and for every $50 you purchase, you get to pick a free product. How exciting is that? See how easy these peel and stick? It's just fabulous. Okay, let me do my little dotted J so I don't lose it. We're on the home stretch. But you guys, look, my fingers are not sticky because of the adhesive sheets. I love this stuff. Let's see, let's start over here. Last one. Oops, I missed it. Just want to say happy birthday. Can you tell I'm in a silly mood today? Okay, that's going to go right below. And we need to add some bling. Now on this one, I use the purple posy. I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight this time. These are a little nice and bright. And let me see that card. Actually, I should have put that a little bit right there. I'm using the large, the medium, and the small. And again, the large, the medium, and the small. So there's my 2 cards for today, and I'm going to show you something else. Let me just make some room. This is the first time today that I try our new Gilded Leafing. Now look at this. Look how pretty these flowers are. Look how shiny. I'm going to show you how I did that. Let me move these over. Now on this one, I used Balmy Blue cardstock, Misty Meadow ink, and then I did the Gilded Leafing. This time I'm using Purple Posy cardstock, Gorgeous Grape ink, and we're going to do the Gilded Leafing. Now there's 2 steps to doing this. I'm going to start out by using Versamark ink to do the detail here that you see that's gold. And that's this image. That's going to fit right in the middle of the flower. It lines right up. I just got to make sure I got it going the right direction. Right there. So I've got to stamp that on each flower with the Versamark ink. You just have to be a little careful how you line it up because all of the leaves line up perfectly. Okay, 3 more to go. And you can see that I did go off on the edge with my cardstock. You guys can't see me stamping again because this is clear ink. But you're gonna go, wow, when I'm done. Okay, the next step, in order to do the gilded leafing, you need some heat and stick powder. Now, we used to have this a few years ago and stopped selling it. Well, it's back. It's a powder. What it is it's a powdered glue, heat and stick. It's going to stick to my Versamark ink. As you can see, it's white. I'm going to melt that with my heat tool. It's going to become a sticky glue when I heat it. Okay, let me just make sure I added enough. Okay, so you can see all the white areas are gonna melt. And I'm going to get my gilded leafing ready. Now, a little tip, and we learned this at a Stamping Up event. Even though the jar is this small, you can see some of it on here. When you open this up, it wants to go everywhere. It's so light. Even you'll see when I open the lid up, it's going to actually, it's just very, very light. And you need to have room to move when you're adding it to your cardstock anyway. So you'll see how this works. But look how light that is. It just wants to go flying. So a shoebox is a good plastic tool to put it in. Now I'm going to go ahead and melt the heat and stick powder. And do not do this near your gilded leafing also. Look how quickly this glue melts. And it becomes tacky. So you can see how quickly it melts. One more. Okay, I just want to make sure I got it all. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my shoebox. I keep a sponge in here. We're going to press this down. Look how it goes flying, even just by pressing down. Now look at this mess. I want to make sure I got some on every piece of glue. Then you take your sponge and you start wiping. You wipe it all off. Look how easy this is, you guys. And look how pretty. I'm going to be doing more projects with this. I just was so excited to try this today. Finally, I've had it for over a week. And I'm just now getting around to trying it. So I just kind of make sure that I rub really hard so that there's nothing loose. And then of course you want to go on the edges to remove anything that's hanging off the edges. But look how pretty that is. Let me put that lid back on before I make a mess. And it's going to look different with any color that you try. But look how shiny that is. Isn't that pretty? So you guys, January 5th, you'll be able to order this. I just love it. And I can't wait to do more projects with it. So there's my little technique at the end of my class today. And then here are the cards that I did with the Emboss Resist. And I will draw a name for one set of these cards too. I'll announce the winner tomorrow. And reminder, next week is our Stamp With Me class. You should be able to go on our Facebook page, click on events, and you'll see what you need for class next week for Stamp With Me at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much for stamping with me today, everyone. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.